Okay, I'd like to address that. It's a great question. But before I do, I'd like to respond to a couple of very important things Kelly said. Firstly, about Jews not going to heaven. The first 3,000 Christians were Jews, if you read the book of Acts. I'm Jewish, so the gospel is open to Jew and Gentile. And the second one is the question you're asking, who made God? It's got a very simple answer. God is eternal. He is outside of the realm of time. Time is a dimension God created and subjected man to. You and I are bound by time. And because we're in time, logic demands everything must have a beginning and an end. That's how we think, because we're in time. But God dwells in eternity outside of that dimension where there's neither beginning nor end. God dwells in eternity where there is neither beginning nor end. That's why when Moses said to God, what's your name? And he said, I am. God is. There's neither past nor present with God. He is in eternity. And when you and I die, we will move out of time into eternity. And there are things we believe in. A space has no beginning and no end. We accept that by faith. You can go 1 billion miles that way and 1 billion miles that way, and there's not a brick wall that says that end. So just as we receive that by faith, we just have to trust there's no beginning and end to space. So God is eternal. He dwells outside of a dimension we're in. He dwells in eternity. The existence of God exists, but being a Christian is not a cultural thing. Being a Christian is being converted by God himself. And it doesn't matter where you are, whether you're in Pakistan, Timbuktu, Moscow, if you hear the gospel and call upon the name of God, he'll reveal himself to you. You've got God's promise wherever you are. I was in New Zealand. New Zealand is not a Christian country. It is more secular. And yet I called upon him 7,000 miles from here, down under, and I came to know him. Well, we've got a perception of an American God, but Christianity is not an American religion. It's from Israel. It's nothing to do with culture, the real and true living God. And like I said, it doesn't matter where you are, no matter what your culture is. If you break free from your culture and call upon the name of God, Kirk wants to say something, I can tell.
When you finish, please, go ahead.
I'm finished. Go for it.
I think it's, perhaps this is, will be helpful. Projecting your own concept of God and making that a reality in your mind is a delusion, and that is called idolatry. It's called creating a false God. People do it all the time. They create a God that they're comfortable with in their minds, and they pray to that God. The one true God sets himself apart from myths and fairy tales by revealing himself to humanity. He's done that generally through creation. He's also done it through the conscience that we each have. He's done it specifically through the Scriptures, and most specifically through the person of Jesus Christ, who was the Son of God, was born of a virgin. He died on the cross, rose from the dead, and he converts the hearts of those who repent and put their trust in him, and demonstrates that he is the true God. That happens whether you're in America or Pakistan or anywhere.
Kirk, thank you for telling us your personal experiences and bringing up our phone conversation. He's right, we do have some stuff in common, but all of you in this room have personal experiences, and maybe one of you in this room has a personal experience that ghosts live in your house. The fact that you believe that doesn't make it any more true. I could have a personal experience that there's an invisible gnome on my shoulder right now, and I live it every day, and it's true. It doesn't make it true to reality. And so a personal experience story really has it really doesn't even deserve to be in a discussion like this. Kelly and I were both Christians, so we could bother you with that story, but we're not going to. In relation to Ray's response to
the specific science question.
Exactly. What created God? Well, Ray says, I called you God.
He called me Kirk.
Ray says that God exists outside of time. So he's created this. Basically, the argument that he gave you, he doesn't even believe. Everything needs a creator, except for this one magical thing at the beginning of it that doesn't need a creator. Science has a law. It's called the third law of thermodynamics, which shows us, and it's one of the most tested laws in science, that matter or energy can neither be created nor destroyed, that we always have the same amount of matter and energy. We could blow up this building, and while it would look completely different, there would be the exact same amount of matter and energy in the universe. That tells us scientifically, if we were to use a more scientific approach, that the components of our world today, our universe, have always existed. And we have real science to lend credence to that. Knowing that, and knowing that the other side of the coin is to create something to explain it away. This is called, in logic terms, an argument from ignorance. Ray doesn't know what created the world, so he's made up a God to tell you that that is what's created the world. Knowing that we have these two options. One thing that we don't have any proof for, that we just make up, and another one that we have this scientific theory, this law actually, that's been tested over and over and over and has never been shown wrong. All signs point to the fact that the universe has just always existed and no God is needed to explain it. And if you're a philosophy buff, you would have heard of this term, Occam's razor. And Occam's razor tells us that the most simplest solution is the most plausible. And in this case, the simplest solution is no God.
If you're going to keep going back to the beginning, you've got to go back all the way and say something's got to be infinite. You keep going back and saying, what made that? What made that? Well, the universe is infinite. But you're going to say, who made the universe?
Nothing.
If God can be infinite, why can't the universe be infinite?
Well, we believe that God is infinite, that he dwells in eternity, and that he's revealed the fact that he has created the universe by speaking it into existence.
But why can't the universe be infinite if God can be infinite?
And you were supposed to bring scientific proof that that's exactly what happened to support your belief, but we haven't seen a shred of it.
We've given you